Some questions about Adobe Character Animator come up pretty often in the comments section, so I'm making this video as a reference to try to answer some of the most common issues I see. How do I add a background? Just go to File, Import, and select any background image file, like a JPEG or PNG image, to have it show up in the project panel. Now, just drag your background down into your timeline until you see a blue line below any puppets you already have in the scene, and let go. Now you can reposition and resize your background using the transform property on the right. Can I export my project to insert other products here? The two best ways to export Character Animator creations to other products are either File, Export, Video via Adobe Media Encoder, or PNG Sequence and Wave. Adobe Media Encoder will just export a video in whatever format you want, which you can then import into your editing or compositing software of choice. PNG Sequence and Wave is a great choice if your product allows for this kind of import because it will also include any transparency you have in your scenes. I would try exporting both ways and see what works best for your particular program. But this is why I personally use Dynamic Link in Premiere Pro and After Effects. It just connects directly to your project without any additional export steps. When I click the PS or AI icon to edit my original artwork, it doesn't work or opens up the wrong program. This usually means you have a different app or no app at all set up as the default to open a particular file type, like an AI or PSD file. On the Mac, I can change this by finding a particular instance of that file type, right-clicking it, and going to Get Info. Then under Open With, I can change whatever I want the default app to be. And note, you can always find your artwork and open it up manually by right-clicking it and selecting the Reveal command to find where it's located. Am I allowed to use your puppets in my own videos? Absolutely, that's what they're there for. Any Character Animator puppet in the app or on any of our resource pages are completely free to use in your own productions, and no credit is needed. What should I use? Character Animator, After Effects, or Animate? These are the three main animation tools Adobe offers, and it can be confusing sometimes to know which to use. I see them as different tools in the animation toolbox. It all depends on your project. Animate and After Effects are more keyframe-based animation tools. Animate is specifically used for animated projects, while After Effects is a little broader and also covers motion graphics, special effects, compositing, and more. Character Animator is the new kid on the block, and is more performance-based, focusing less on keyframes and more on you moving and talking and pressing trigger buttons, as well as letting you do live animation. All three of these products are being used by professional animation studios around the world, so honestly, I would check them all out and see what works best for you. That being said, if I were a beginner user that has never used any of these tools before, I'd probably try them in this order: Character Animator, Animate, and then After Effects. Why is my head moving but not my body, or vice versa? Usually this is because of independence, aka the crown icon. If a group or layer has that next to it, it means it can move on its own. As a general rule, make sure your character looks exactly like this: independent main group with a non-independent head and body group inside it. Can I hire you for my animation project or to teach me? As cool as so many of the potential projects are that you all send me, my full-time job at Adobe prevents me from taking on outside projects. But I recommend checking out our community Character Animator users page at the website below, where hopefully you'll find someone with the style and skill set you're looking for. Can I use Character Animator without a webcam? Yes, a webcam isn't required to run Character Animator, but we highly recommend it as the easiest way to do face tracking and lip syncing. But if you wanted to do head movements on your own through keyframes or draggable handles or some other ways, while it's uncommon, it's entirely possible to do so. What should I use? Photoshop or Illustrator? Use whichever one you know better. There are no major performance gains or special benefits from using either one in Character Animator. We see about a 50-50 split in people using either product, so you really can't go wrong with whatever you choose. I personally use both. I use Photoshop and lately Adobe Fresco for my more detailed hand-drawn characters, and Illustrator for more flat, cel-shaded puppets. Can I make a puppet that is insert style here, hand-drawn, 3D, photograph, etc.? Yes, anything you can put into a PSD or AI file, you can animate in Character Animator. So that could be a hand-sketched character, layers exported from a 3D program, a photo of something, or whatever. All that matters is that it's organized in the PSD or AI file in parts like a typical Character Animator puppet. How do I make arms that go in front of my character's face? Just put your body group above your head group. Now the body, including the arms, will show up in front of the character's face. If you have an overlapping neck, you may want to do a little surgery on it so it looks okay, but it should still work. While there are several ways to make triggered swap sets to change between arms that go in front or behind the head, typically you want to pick one or the other. Why does my puppet look like colored bars? This happens when Character Animator can't find your puppet file anymore. To fix this, select your puppet in the project panel and click the link on the right. Then once you find the correct file, it will relink and work again. So hopefully you learned a few things. If more common questions arise in the future, maybe I'll do a volume 2 of this. But in the meantime, if you have any other questions, the best place for that is the official Character Animator forums. And as always, please share whatever you're making with us using #CharacterAnimator. We'd love to see it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching and have fun.